also told the story about how I made you hold this up in the airport. Oh God. Let's do a recap. Is that enough? Hello muggles, my name is Ashley Stormo and welcome to my channel. So I saw 67 films in 2018. They say to treat the cinema as your film school. It's cheaper than film school, but it's still pretty goddamn expensive considering. Anyways, today I'm going to tell you what my top 4 were, and I'm also going to share what I learned from each of them, just like a little tidbit so that I can justify spending so much time and money at the theaters. Number 4 is Avengers, mostly because I've been watching these since I was like, when did Iron Man come out? 2008? That's 10 years. Anyways, mostly this is a fave because Marvel is a cult and I'm here for it. I don't know, I feel like I'm a fake fan if I don't include this as one of my favorites of the year. Also though, this is one of my favorites because of this story I'm about to tell. I'm a hillbilly, so we had to go to Seattle to see this film in IMAX because us country bumpkins aren't good enough to have an IMAX theater, I guess. I'm in my nice cushy seat. I'm enjoying the movie. We're at the part where everyone like turns to dust. And I'm really worried about Iron Man. He's my favorite character. He's floating up in space. I'm like, oh shit. But it's gonna be like okay. Like Marvel is big money. They're not gonna kill off everyone for the sake of a film, 1 or 2 films. The man sitting next to me, he is not okay. He is sobbing. And like, it's fine if a dude wants to cry. It's like no big deal. Stop telling men not to cry. They can have emotion too. Hello 2019, I'm here for it. But like, he was crying so hard that he was convulsing my chair. I don't know if you've ever been to Disneyland by Space Mountain. They have this theater. They have these seats and they vibrate so that while you're watching the short film, your movements coincide with what's going on screen. Well, that was what this guy did to my chair. It was like I was on a ride, literally. At this point, I'm not paying attention to the film. I'm like looking down the aisle at my family. Their seats are also shaking. This man's lady is trying to calm him down. He's not having it. His hands are sweaty. He's like, he's having a moment. When Black Panther went away, it was done. He was done. He was not having a good time. And we got up and we left and there was no teaser and no thing at the end either because we normally have like 2. His lady friend was like rubbing his back. She's like, are you okay? He was upset. He was still upset. And I'm not making fun of him, genuinely. Like, it was a moment where I was like, oh my God, films physically affect people. I already knew this. I grew up with Harry Potter. Harry Potter affected my real life, but it's interesting to remember that. Film matters, storytelling matters, and I guess the lesson is that if you're an actor, a screenwriter, a director, a storyteller, a stunt person, a camera person, what you're doing matters. You have the chance to impact someone else's life and you need to take that seriously. And I think the audience will be able to tell if you are and they'll be moved. Cheers to you, dude. I hope you're doing okay. So the next movie that is on my very favorite list is A Quiet Place. This film was amazing. My mom raised me on black and white old films and horror films. I remember seeing Jaws way too young on Halloween. We would watch all the Halloweens on every Friday the 13th. We still to this day watch Friday the 13th or some scary film. This film was equally as terrifying as any of those horror films that I know and love, but it was done in such a different way. I'm used to a ton of jump scares, and this film actually created tension totally different. They used the silence as a way to create tension, and it worked really well. It was super unexpected and it made for a really interesting piece of art to watch. Also, this film was heartwarming. It felt like it was structured like a family drama. They were just so happened to be in a horrific situation. You could have taken away the aliens and you still would have had an impactful storyline. I loved that they incorporated a deaf character. Wish films were more diverse in general, but it was definitely a pleasant surprise. The lesson here is to try to create tension in unexpected ways and blend genre. blend genre elements. So like 5 years ago, I forced my mom to take this Who's Your Celebrity Husband BuzzFeed quiz, and she got Bradley Cooper, and I still tease her to this day. In October, we were on our way home from California, and that's when a lot of the marketing was starting to go on for A Star Is Born. And I was by myself. I went to go buy a magazine, and I found the hugest magazine cover with Bradley Cooper. I need to go get it. It is the hugest magazine. But I saw it, and I still make fun of her about the BuzzFeed quiz for whatever reason. It doesn't make sense because she doesn't like have a crush on him or anything. I just think it's hilarious. So I bought this magazine and I ran back to our waiting area, and I was like, Mom, you're a celebrity husband. And I made like this huge scene where I was like, you gotta take a picture with this. Follow me on Instagram. I loved this film. It filled a La La Land sized hole in my heart. Mother Monster is one hell of an actress, and Bradley Cooper, as it turns out, is a fantastic director. I think his film stands on its own, even though it's like the 4th rendition, because it feels super meticulously edited. All of the supporting characters feel like they are there for a reason. They don't just feel like fluff. And the music is incredible, obviously. I think it was really smart to pick Lady Gaga because you needed someone with a super soulful voice for the storyline to make sense with why Jack was mesmerized with her. Also, I think it's important to say that not once during the entire film did I look at Jack and Ally as Bradley and Gaga, so that is amazing since they're both superstars in their own right. Also, Bradley Cooper's an amazing singer. I guess the lesson would be that remakes have just as much of a responsibility to be fantastic as the original, if not better. Also, another lesson I learned is that there can be 100 people in the room and 99 of them cannot believe in you, but you just need the one. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri was my favorite film that I saw in 2018. Technically, it came out in 2017, but I didn't see I didn't see this film until the 3rd or 4th of January. So I was really hoping that another film would come and kick it out of this place on my list because it was from 2017, but I loved it too much. Nothing compared. I loved the chemistry, even though it's angry chemistry between Francis and Sam. I loved the plot twist. I loved the ambiguous ending. The fact, I think it's so important for people to trust the audience to decide what happens and to not force feed everything to your audience members, because that kind of takes the fun out of it. There's a TED Talk, I can't remember who says it, but he says, give the audience 2 + 2, don't give the audience 2 + 2 = 4, and I think that this film is a great example of that. The character redemption surprised me. It was unexpected, and also this was weirdly funny, which it was hilarious. That's like a really weird way to describe a film that is about a mother who's mourning her daughter who was raped and murdered. I laughed more at this than I do at some comedies. Lastly, Mildred was super flawed. She was not in the right 90% of the time, and I still rooted for her. And I give my hat off to both the actress because she brought her charisma, or Frances because she brought her charisma, and the screenwriter because there's something in that script that made it that way. Also, side note, we went and we saw this film and there was this group of rude ass people behind us and we kept hearing this weird noise and we were like, what is that noise? And at the end of the film, we turned around and these people had been eating pistachios and they spat Mom, I'm telling the story about the pistachios being, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Rude. We heard this noise and we turned around and they had spit pistachio shells and it spanned like the entire row. You people are assholes and you shouldn't expect employees to pick up your garbage, let alone your pistachio shells. I liked the film because it bended genre expectations and you wanted to root for her even though she was horrible. So mommy saw, why are your hands on my hair? Oh, I'm sorry.
You know better.
Sorry. Sorry. Mama saw more films than I did. She saw 70 at least. How do you feel about having seen more films than I did?
Good.
Like you won.
I'm a winner.
Are you gonna go to film festivals with me?
Maybe.
If you go to film festivals with me, someday when I write a really good film, I'll invite you to the red carpet.
You have to anyway. I'll kill you.
I shit you not, I came home early so I could film this because we are on our way to the first film of 2019. So the addiction continues. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. Sorry if it's super long, but I had to talk about 67 fucking movie. No, I'm just kidding, I didn't.